Right, hi, I'm BJ, regulated off SEQFishing. Today I'm just going to do up a little bit of a guide on how I like to set up a drift. What you're actually looking at here, this software is called Garmin Homeport. I used to use a Garmin 62 on the boat all the time. It's just a little handheld. Nice and easy to use, really quick as well. It was great for setting drifts because the course over ground sort of updated really quickly and spun nicely to whatever direction you were actually going. It was really nice and easy to set up your drifts. Hardest thing about it was the small screen size. Now I've got a Humminbird 778, so just a sounder, and I've got a Raymarine Dragonfly starting to do a bit with the Dragonfly instead on the charts there. Nice size screen, but it doesn't update as quick. So if I'm doing an area that it's got quite small bommies, I need to get it really accurate. I pull out the handheld and actually do just set all my drifts off it. Now what we're actually looking at here, this is just a reef. And I've drifted this one a lot of times. I've sort of just marked a few different spots on it that sort of look pretty good. Everywhere that I go, I'd mark everything that sort of looks nice, and because of that, it means that I've got a hell of a lot of marks on the GPS, so I never know what the marks actually are. It's just something I've spotted that might look alright. Now because of that, I had to come up with something to sort of identify the marks a little bit better. So you can see right in the centre here I've got nice bottom. That was just a nice sort of bit of structure I found in there. I've marked the edge as well, so yeah, that's just the edge of the reef. That'd be like 160, 159, 165 and 103, and then coming down this side as well here. It's typing in a name takes a fair bit of time. So you don't want to be mucking around with the electronics all the time. You actually just want to fish. So I had to come up with something a little bit quicker to just to identify what actually found there. So you can see by this E48, I decided to start using letters to actually identify what it is on the bottom. So I started using E for edge. So just used to be able to hit mark on the GPS, quickly edit the name, just put an E in front of it, and you had a little bit of idea what it is. Some other letters that I've used is like S for structure. See a nice bommy on the bottom or something. Just type it in with the S in the front, identify it nicely. B for bait score. So just give you a little bit of an idea on what to actually sort of spot on there. Now actually setting up a drift, as I said, it's a pretty important sort of thing when you're fishing. You have to work out what direction your actual drift is going. Usually I don't set all my gear up before I get to certain spots. I only take a couple of rods and reels, so they're not all set up at the time. So what I actually do, you'll actually see when I just hit play with the boat here. I'm just coming into position now. Now I actually just stop about 100 metres off wherever I'm fishing. Just kill the engine, and I'm just tying up the rigs now, just making sure all the knots are still good. There's no rub marks on any of the lines, so you won't lose those trophy fish. Just by doing this, it gives you a very good indication on which way your drift's going. Like if you did set up a drift straight on one of your marks and then start going, you might actually find that you're drifting off north or something, and you're just going completely the wrong direction. So yeah, it gives you a couple of minutes just to work out which actual direction you're going. Another one, I do not like any boat noise when I'm actually going over the marks. So all this area here, I try and stay away from it when I'm actually sort of traversing the area. I do a bit of a pattern. Most of the areas that I do a D pattern. So I'll set the drift at the top, drift down, and then nice D pattern around to the top, reset, and do the drift again. You just keep doing that. It just means like yeah, any sort of noise you make over here, it's not going to affect your fish as much actually in the area that you're fishing. When I do set the when I am coming around, you can actually see that I am still going quite slow with the boat here. So yeah, I'm actually only going about, I usually only go about 6 to 10 knots around these areas here, just to keep the noise right down. I've got a 4-stroke, but yeah, still like to sort of keep the noise down as much as I can. So yeah, coming up 6 to 10 knots here. When I come to this area here, I actually just cut the boat right back to idle. I'll just pause that boat for a sec. Yeah, cut the boat right back to idle, so she's just in gear, just putting along real slow, because this is sort of the important bit, actually deciding where you want to start your drift. Now, as you can see, our drift was had a bit of a southerly drift down here. So like with this, so pretend we're going to hit this 103 mark. What you want to do is have a think about how quick you were drifting. Have a just watch it on your GPS when you are going down. Usually around Brizzy you're sort of going 1 to 2 knots, not too quick. And then have a think about how deep the area is that you're fishing and sort of what sort of rigs you're using. I do mostly float lining now, so you want to sort of pinpoint that right sinker size to your depth and everything, and how quick your line can get out there. So with all that sort of in consideration, you sort of have a look at what your angle of your drift was, and if I wanted to hit this 103 mark first up, I'd probably, just for a starter, I'd probably sort of start around this area here. Now, with this drift that I'm going to do right now, yeah, as you can see, I've marked sort of the outer edge of this reef. I might just come straight in and want to chase some pelagics or something straight up. So what I'm going to do is actually set the drift off to the side here and just float along that edge. What you usually do find with the with your outer edges of your reef, because it comes from deeper water, it comes from like say 60 meters up to 40 or whatever like that, it sort of pushes bait into a certain area. Quite often it is along these edges of the reef. So you get some nice bait schools around there. That means that you're going to get nice nice sized pelagics and everything sort of playing around, hitting the bait in those areas. So yeah, my first drift here, I've just come in and so I just try for some bait schools along the side, hit some pelagics. So yeah, while I'm going right there, I'm actually going quite slow, yeah, just in gear. And now you can see it's just slowed down, so I've just kicked in neutral and killed the engine. Right now I'm just float lining. So yeah, just use Mark's technique with the float lining. Pick your right sinker size and just free spool. You'll feel that fish hit it. The line will take off a bit quicker, and I use circle hooks as well, so you've got to give them a couple extra seconds and then yeah, see if she's actually taken the hook. Now I've set this drift not too bad, yeah, because I wanted to hit that edge. I've actually hit sort of 1, 2, I'll hit the 3rd mark down there and sort of just rub the edge of the 4th as well. So I'm in that right sort of area to get some nice pelagics out of that there. Alright, so yeah, just nice and quiet down there without any boat noise. I'll just speed it up a bit. Now, actually what usually happens, yeah, you get all your pelagics around the outside of your reef. That's where a lot of bait schools are. You'll get them in the centre as well. The pelagics will actually sort of school them into the areas. So with this area here, with this actual drift, because it is quite a long drift that I've actually done this time, what's actually happened is I've actually hooked a fish on the top edge, fought that in, got it in, and then drop straight away. And I've actually hooked a second fish, probably around this area or something here. And that's why it's going to be drift. I'm going to have quite a long drift down there. I'll just speed that right up. So So yeah, I've still been fighting the fish there. Just down near the bottom here is actually where I've finally got it in. Alright, so as you can see, coming back up on that line, on that D pattern, yeah, still like right on the, just really avoiding all those marks in the center there. So yeah, I've come in a bit closer this time, so I mustn't have seen too much while I was drifting there at the top, so I've decided just to cut it in a bit closer. And I've just in a second, alright, I've just killed the engine there, so I'm doing another drift. So just going in between the edges again, yeah, just trying to hit all those little bommies and the bait schools and everything that school up on the edge. Right, other than that, yeah, look, hopefully that sort of gives you a little bit of an idea how to set your drift. Main points are work out what drift direction you're going, have a think about what rigs you're using, how quick your current is, and sort of what fish you're targeting as well. If you're targeting your snapper, you sort of want to be down that bottom third. In that nice current line, there's going to be a nice current line where the big fellas are going to come up and just hit the bait that's floating along. If you are hugging the bottom, you're going to get all your little pickers and yeah, just little annoying reef fish that's just going to waste your time. If you are sort of with this one here, I've probably like gone a bit of a light sinker because I was trying to target more pelagics up the top. So yeah, I was probably in that top half of the water column, just trying to hook a couple of things in there. But yeah, look, if you've got any questions about setting a drift or anything else like that, just hit us up on the forum, SEQFishing. Right, thanks very much.